Yeah, man, sup, purples? Welcome to the black hole. My name is Blessed Beats, and you are welcome to the here. What's happening today? When is it ever not exciting here? We're looking at the song view and the clips in the Maschine, and this goes for the Mark III users, the Maschine Plus users, whatever. You're going to be able to take the fruitful advantage of this too, and this is something we've been waiting on for years and years. Certainly, one of the most prioritized things for me to cover about it. So I'm just gonna demonstrate how it works, make a quick little bare-boned beat, you know what I'm saying, show you the functions and see what it's about and what you have to look forward to on the October 1st or slightly before October 1st update. Make a new project right here. I'm gonna go through for the noobs first and foremost. The people who never owned Maschine before don't know how to make pattern, all right? I'm just gonna go through it quickly. So if you already know the deal with that and just wanna skip to the goodies, I will put some time stamps in the description below. All right, so mission right here, mission statements. We're making a full album for Milli Vanilli, all right? And it's gotta make it to the Billboard Top 1. We only have the Maschine. We don't have any other software. We don't have Ableton Live. We don't have Logic Pro. We don't have anything else. We have the Maschine right here with the microphone input. I don't have anything to plug in the microphone input now, but whatever. We want to be able to make the full song in here, and it is entirely possible now. So there are two different main sequencing views, all right? There's the ideas view and there's the song view. And I would suggest a recommendation I would not have before, but it makes a lot more sense now, to use the ideas view first and get comfortable with that. So we're gonna load up a drum kit here. Drum, drum, drum. Ooh, I like that. Now, if we want to make a pattern, we can just do that instantly without worrying about the length of the pattern. If you wanted to set the length of the pattern from the beginning, you can just hold down pattern and set the length here. But when it's set to auto, can I go back to auto? There we go. It will do the brain thinking for us. So let's just make something. You know, I don't feel 90. I'm not feeling 90 in the body today. It's more like 75 this evening. All right, it's a little bit off according to the metronome, but we don't give F about the metronome. Let's see what it sounds like if we turn it off. I'm not really happy with the velocities of the kicks there. If I wanted to have it at a fixed velocity, I could just press here on fixed velocity and go into pad mode also and to the right and set the fixed velocity to 127. Always 100% volume or velocity, which is the volume of the MIDI notes, you know what I'm saying? But I like to play it with the velocity off so we can just edit whatever little faulties are in there. And if you want to quantize it, hold shift and press follow here and go to step. And that's where you're going to find the timing set for your quantize. And you could even quantize it by only 50%. Like for example here, yeah, 16ths. Also set this one to step instead of half step. I don't know why the default is to half step. Let's set it to step and quantize. Way too stiff. I don't like that for this type of beat. If you want to see what's going on in the pattern now, you can press events. And you get this beautiful overview. See, I want to lower the volume of this one and this one. Oh my God, but I don't have a touch screen. What am I supposed to do? I just press select, press the kick right there to select all of them, press it again to unselect them. If I wanted to select a specific one, I could either use this event slider here. See? choosing one by one. It's going between the kicks there. I don't know if you can see it. Boom, 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 boom. Or you can widen your selection like this and narrow it down and get the note that you want. Usually what I do is I just select all of them like that, the note, and then narrow it down to the one I want to fix. Unselect it and lower the velocity of that one. We're going to do that to this one and that one. So to select the other one, go back and select and move over there, out, turn down the velocity. See, it's not that horrible, all right? And imagine if this was a note in here, we could change the length of it like that. And now all the edits are according to the grid. So if I would move this using the nudge, for example, back and forth, it is set to 16ths. That's the grid in here, 16ths. Step, 16ths. If I wanted to get rid of that, I could just press that, and now I can move it freely in small increments. Anyways, that's a simple pattern. We can find that pattern by holding pattern here, and we can see pattern 1 is selected. If we make more patterns, they will come up across the paths and we can select, ooh, I've made instantly a new pattern like that. I want to keep that one there though. Now we are actually in Ideas view. We just can't see it. So if we press Idea here, we can see our first scene consists of pattern 1 in group A. So like I said before, I recommend you to get familiar with building some scenes in the Ideas view before moving on to the latter part. But let's add some more sounds in here. Get the browser. Save first. You should always save. Is a good idea. And I like to get creative with my names, so I'm going to call it Poop. Instruments. I like my synthesizers, you know that. Classic polyphonic synthesizers. I like that one. But bless, how are we going to make a Billboard Top 1 with only one note on the synthesizer? I think they would bite, but if we want to get a little bit more exciting, you can picture yourself diving into this pad now, and as you dive into the pad, with it comes a wide array, a beautiful landscape of notes by pressing keyboard. Here you got all types of scales in here, scales that I've never even heard of in my whole life, and you also have the chords mode, of course. You've seen this in 1,000 videos before. I made a song already using this chord set, so I can only hear this song using the chord set, but the chord set is beautiful. It would be beautiful if you could make your own chords and put in there, because you can instantly tell after a while when you've been, junkying on the machine for a while. 2, 3, 4. Double checking the pattern. Yep, 2 bars. That's what we did. Verified. A little bit dry per chance. You're getting a bunch of extra tutorial here, and I'm not showing what I'm supposed to show really, but it does not hurt. Let's just make something that sounds at least decent. If we want to hop back out of chords mode to see what we have on all of the pads, you can always go back to pad mode. And imagine keyboard and chords and step 2 as you're kind of diving into the abyss there of that sound. So alright, right now I just want to add an effect to this pad and this pad only, not the entire group, not all of the sounds of all the groups, just this one sound. That's it. So I press that pad, I see that's my massive plugin right there. I go to the right and I hold shift and press browser. Brings up a whole bunch of effects. And, maybe a beat delay would be in place. Now, normally, you would not add a delay as an insert effect. You would make a send effect out of that, but... Yeah, good enough. Maybe even some reverb. No, you know what? Let's do the meta verb. And let's automate the room size. You know what I did there? I hold shift and press automate to latch the automation, and now it's going to record whatever I do when I move the little knobbies here. Alright, let's add a baseline, and that'll be it for this scene that we're working on in the ideas view. If I want to know which key and scale I'm in, I could just check here on the chords. See, it's one of the major chord sets, and the root note is C here. You can change the root note with semitone up and down. If you can't do it by ear, that's one way of doing it. Plus a rude and multi-talented with a golden boy singing voice. Yeah, we're gonna be happy with that. That's our idea. But no, we have one scene here. That's one idea. What if we wanted to make a new one? We could either just press plus there, and whatever new patterns we make would turn into new original patterns. Or we could press scene and delete that scene because we don't want that shit no more. And copy this one. Duplicate, except in this one, maybe we have only this one soloed. That's our intro. All right, that's good enough. Doesn't always have to be all that complicated. So we know we don't want this group to be playing. We don't want that group to be playing. So if we press that and then press pattern, which dictates what pattern should play in this scene, in this here scene, and deactivate it. There goes the drums, and let's do the same for the bass. All right, you get the idea. So, get it? Ideas view. Now you understand the ideas, but so how do we get into the songs view? There's a secret here. If you hold down shift, we can find ourselves in the song view. And it's all empty now. What the hell is going on? Now here's one thing that you need to understand. In song mode, you create sections. Sections consist of scenes. Scenes consist of patterns. And then there's an extra layer to it called clips. And clips are independent from the patterns, which means you can move them freely along the timeline as you want. Probably sounds complicated. Let's just look at it. How would we go about if we want to get our scene in here? If we're in the song view already, we can press section here because we don't want to be in clip right now. We don't have any clips even. Press create and select the scene. That'll assign one of these scenes to the section that we're at right about around now. Amazing. Or if we're in ideas here, we could actually do it in a faster way. If you already built all of the scenes that you want in your beat pretty much from the start, this is probably a faster way to do it. You can hold scene right there and press append. Now, this view here is of the song view. So we know this is our intro, right? And this is our normal. It's everything we got right now. It's just the verse, whatever. All right, so 1, 2, and we can keep going from here. We have two intros right there next to each other. And then put in a whole bunch of normal there. And that's it. Now when we go back to song view, we have already created the structure. But let me show you something here. You can hold the shift and the jog wheel to navigate the song. And if we go all the way over to the end and play it. We're just waiting for it to loop around to get on take 2, but god damn it, it's not. If we want it to loop, what we need to do is hold shift and press restart, because it says loop beneath it, and that's why. But I was just looping that little part over there. How do we loop the whole thing? We can use this to navigate all of our different sections by holding this down and just pressing it there. That'll take us right to that spot. Or we can hold down one and grab and press another pad, and that's going to set our loop section to that span. But I want to select all of them, and right now it's spanning across 2 banks here. What do? Well, I hold down the first one and keep holding it down and go to the next bank and press the last one, and there we go. We have the whole thingamajig selected. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but there's probably an occasion for where you would want to do that. Very important note here when you're working in the song view is that a section is always referencing to a scene. So check them out right here. All of these sections we have in here have scene 1 in them. That means if I make a change to this scene here, turn off the pattern, for example, it's going to do it to all of them. And this is something that it's mind-boggling to a lot of people at first. Let's put back in there and explain how it works. So skipping between these sections, let's say we wanted to make a change to this section here. Now this section is referencing back to scene 1. We can have a look-see here in the ideas view. If we make any changes to scene 1 in here in the ideas view, that's a reference as well. So that's going to reflect back into the song mode, right? Are you with me now? So what if I wanted to make a change to this? There's a couple of different things you could do. Either you could hold down the scene button right here and choose to make that scene unique. Now that's scene 3 instead. Even in the ideas view now, we're going to have scene 3 in there. So any changes we make to that, that's always going to be referencing to there. So you could have, say, intro section, hook, a pre-chorus, and a bridge in there. And you lay out the foundation for that, arrange everything, make the whole skeleton for the whole fundamentals type of thing, you know what I'm saying? And then make changes to certain parts only. Then you would make those changes by holding scene and pressing unique. Let's say we want to build progressively instead, from left to right. We have the intro, we have the first little hook section, and then we have our verse there. What we could do is hold down scene, and when we duplicate it, as long as you have your settings set up the right way, namely general, link when duplicate off. If link when duplicate is set to on, that's going to reference it to a scene. So when you duplicate one of these, it's going to do the same thing as when you're appending a bunch of scenes like we did before. But our settings is set to the professional setting, which is settings, general, one step to the right, link when duplicate off. I think that's the default now. It didn't used to be before, but it makes a lot more sense in standalone. Look at my right here. If I hold scene now and duplicate this, pay attention. Scene is set referencing scene 1, but now when we duplicate this, that makes a new unique scene. All right. In this group, we want to turn that pattern off. Maybe we want to make a new one there. Good. Fixed. So make sure you keep track of what scene is actually in there. You can always see it either up here, or down here. Which scene is it you're actually modifying? And when you're duplicating a new scene, is it making a new one, or are you making changes to the old scene? So yeah, we have our section with our scene in there, with the patterns in there, but what about the clips? What about the clips? If we go into our, say, our drum group here and hold pattern, we can see our patterns, but if we go into clip here, this pattern button represents the clips. So when I press it down, I will see that there are no clips present. You can make a new empty one right there from within. And that's going to make one in the beginning wherever there's no space, or if you have an empty group that would actually create it right where we are. But something else we could do is we can go back to section and we can actually convert this to a clip. Now all of these are no longer if we scroll over, you see the next section here, these are still patterns, but now these are clips. This means when we're in group A, say if I wanted to grab this one now, I would obviously need to make sure I'm on this group, but also that I'm in clip here. Now this one represents, instead of patterns, this button now represents our clips. So we have two clips in here because we converted the patterns from every group in this scene to clips. And if I wanted to pick this one and do something with it, I would have to hold this down while I'm in clip mode. Very important. Clip, clip, select. This one is selected. What's so special about this, you ask? Well, check them out. Ooh. This is a big deal for Maschine users, and this is what sets the Maschine apart from other similar devices, really. Or one of the things that sets it apart. It used to be locked to whatever length the longest pattern in the scene was. And you can't have one pattern intersect with another scene. Now, we can do that. If we hold down Shift, we can nudge it. Now it's nudging according to the grid. So if we turned it off, we could move it really small. So that's just to demonstrate. Now you can make your entire songs like this. On the clip layer, a clip can obviously be longer than all of these scenes. So I could have a clip that's 16 bars long, for example, and I can make a new clip and record to it. I can even record vocals and have it span across all of these once I have a finished beat. Ideally, you would make a new group for that probably and create a new clip and then record to that. So now you can set the length of that one to, okay, so that's our 16 bars verse right there. Now we can sample into it. I don't have a microphone connected right now, but let's simulate that just to show you. I will take, save. I'll hold duplicate and press that pad and I'll place it on another pad there. See how hands-on it is? This is what I love. Everything is just touch and go. Once you know where everything is, it's just touch it, move it, flip it, or format it, electro-logic. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that this is a synthesizer that's external and plugged into the machine right now. We have our clip selected here, 16 bar clip, ready to go. Let's go to sampling and let's set it to internal and set it to sample from group E, which is where our synthesizer is. There's a couple of different sampling modes here. Sync, that's just gonna sync it to, you know, the timing of the beat. Detect, that's a free-form sampling, but then there's also a loop. And we can set this to 16 bars or free, you know. Maybe you want to leave some space in there, but now I know we're just gonna jam over these 16 bars. So, and set our target to a sound or a take. If it's a take, you could have multiple takes on one pad. If it's a sound, then it's just a sound on one pad. You can use it as a looper, a very complex and intricate looper, but we're gonna do a new video on that in the future. But right now, since it's set to this mode, it's not gonna start recording until we start playing. So we can go ahead. Let's go ahead and press start. Now it's waiting for it to go. Now we can take our time, get everything set up. All right, this might as well have been vocals, something plugged into the microphone there, you know what I'm saying? All right, now we're sampling, so we don't need to press record. What we need to press is restart here to start from the top. right, so now we have it there. And since we made the clip beforehand, it's already assigned in place and where we need it to be. And now we can move it around. As we please, so we might put that in the intro instead. Yeah. And what's cool about this is you can, the audio engine is where you can time stretch and everything. So if you wanted to have this and time stretch it, you can do it, and the time stretch will actually sound good, which is positive. You can set it to gate, and this, when I play it back now I need to let the sound through by pressing it. It's like a crossfader. So yeah, that's about it. If we're gonna sum it up, there is the ideas view and there's the song view. There are scenes, which consist of patterns. There are sections, which consist of patterns. And there's an extra layer on top of there called clips. And you can do what you wish with the clips, pretty much. Many songs to listen to today, but you should check out this song by Brash, Pace One, and INF. It's a single, he's a hella dope rapper, and I made a remix for it. And I'm not sure if he made a mistake when he uploaded it because it's not supposed to be the instrumental. But it's a dope one, and I would encourage you to check that out. He's a member of our Discord in the Black Hole, which you can join too. Okay, bye-bye.